social media can also be dangerous and it can be helpful.
Obviously, it's not a good thing if you're overusing it. I personally don't post a lot online because of like the horror stories.
I think it's really easy to forget that social media is like a highlight reel. It's become such an important part of our lives that you kind of have to like go on social media in some ways. Like that's how you find connection.
I think definitely social media can be dangerous and helpful depending on like who you're interacting with or maybe like how you use it.
And I think a lot of adults think like we're just purposely wasting our time, but it has like grown to become such a vital part of our lives that you can't just like push it away completely.
This is the true story of teens
brave enough to drop the mask
and get real about mental health.
Teens struggle more than we see, and a voice carries the power of change.
Life as a teen can be hard, and sharing really helps.
You're listening to Teen Voices on the Endurant Show,
a space where teens share real struggles, real stories, and real growth. Real teens, real talk,
no scripts,
and no filters.
This is Teen Voices.
This is Teen Voices.
This is Teen Voices.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Teen Voices segment of the Endurant Show. I'm Emma and I'm here with Sara and Ash. Today we're going to be talking about myths and the reality of social media and the media in general in relation to like teen mental health. So yeah, kind of starting off with like a little fun question. What do you guys think is the funniest viral trend that you guys don't get?
Well, right now especially, Labubu's are a thing. In my like seminar class, like we were literally just talking about this. Like there was this bejeweled Labubu. Like imagine how much time you would take out of your day to like individually place each jewel on like a Labubu.
There's like a 14-karat gold Labubu, like something special like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't know how these trends just like catch like that.
Yeah.
I know. They kind of scare me, to be honest.
I know,
Yeah.
me too. They look scary. Do you have any viral trends, Ash?
I would say this one isn't funny, but it was like a viral trend, where people are like posing and saying like this outfit eats, but it's clear that I do too.
Oh yeah.
And obviously a lot of people were unhappy with that, so a lot of people started posting this outfit eats, wrap it up, or like okay, just the outfit eats, you know, and it turned into something really positive, which I really liked.
Exactly. Yeah.
Have you guys ever felt pressured to act or look a certain way because of social media?
Yeah. For sure, because you see all these people, and a lot of the time the most like viral, the most popular people are people like who are like traditionally pretty, like in the terms of like being like they have a lot of like makeup on, they're like have like the ideal body type, like idolized by society, and all of the comments are just about how pretty they are. Like it's not about the content of their character, like or anything like that. And that just sort of environment, growing up, seeing that like all around me and stuff, I can see how that is extremely negative.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's really easy to forget that social media is like a highlight reel and you're just watching like people's best moments over and over again. So like if you're scrolling through that continuously, it's so easy to compare yourself to those people and like those lives that are so idealized. And like you said, like a lot of people who do become famous from it and you constantly see on your page are like societally like idealized beauty or pretty. There's definitely like a TikTok face, I think they call it. Everyone looks very, very similar. Yeah, I think that's definitely, especially newer generations, because I think for me at least, I didn't get a phone until around 8th grade. So at least then I only saw that like later in life. But for kids nowadays who are growing up like with social media in like elementary school, like all their lives is going to be like compared to other people, and that's just so harmful. But I think one creator that really helps me is Spencer Barbosa. I don't know if you guys have ever seen her. I love Spencer.
So much.
She does such a great job like uplifting other like young teens, young children. I love her like body positivity content. She literally like shows her own insecurities so that you feel less alone. And that's what social media should be. Like, that's the kind of content, especially when you're scrolling and scrolling. When I see her video, it like reminds me that like this is so fake. Like, I can't be comparing myself to these people. It's kind of like PETA, like real or not real. So yeah, I love Spencer. And also your content, Ash.
Thank you.
You are so like an inspiration to me. I admire you so much. You're so courageous to show your healing journey online. And I remember one of your posts that really stuck with me was the one where you're like, when you're saying these mean things to yourself, just remember you're saying it to the little like girl that you are. And that it really impacted me because you would never say those things to a little girl. Yeah. So thank you so much for doing that. I love seeing all your posts.
That was like
really
one of, like a viral trend that I saw. I was like, I have to join this. Like, it's so inspiring and just so helpful, especially for me. Like, doing that just like helped me a lot. So I'm really glad it helped you as well.
Oh, thank you. Have you guys noticed how mental health conditions are shown in movies and TV shows, and what do you think about their portrayal?
I don't have a lot of like maybe firsthand experience with a lot of things going up. So when I watch a lot of like TV and movies and shows, this is how I think of something. Yeah, exactly. And it just perpetuates like stereotypes, stigmas around mental health. That's just what I think it is, because for a lot of people, like this is kind of their form of like education, awareness about it, and shows like that include these things to like meet a quota also can be harmful because they just make it like a small little thing, like for panic attacks. Like I've seen in shows that it's just like an opportunity for like maybe the girl main character and then some like their love interest to come and like help them.
Exactly.
And then it's just over like that.
In real life.
Yeah.
No one comes swooping in. It's usually you, and you're just like, okay, we gotta get up. We're good.
Yeah.
I honestly have seen like a lot of shows and movies where they portray mental like health illnesses a lot. And really well. Perks of Being a Wallflower, Heartstopper does a really good job. I think they portray it beautifully, especially with depression, PTSD, eating disorders. They make it really real and authentic, especially what like how I've expressed it, or how I've like gone through depression and an eating disorder. They like really hit home for me, and I think they did a really amazing job with that. So I definitely think that directors are getting better when it comes to portraying mental health. There's definitely like a broader like scope of them, because in Ginny and Georgia, the third season, they show Maxine and Marcus obviously having major depression, whereas Max has more high functioning depression. But both are so valid, and they do it so beautifully.
I know. I love that too, how they show like the two different sides.
Exactly. I thought that was so impactful.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's something that's getting better as well. Like mental health is such a spectrum, and I feel like in like before in like Hollywood, a lot of the times they would only show one side or one like level, I guess. I don't know if that's the right term, but I just know like OCD especially has been always shown as just someone who's like a germaphobe, or they're always cleaning. And like growing up, that's also like kind of what I thought it was, because that's all I've ever seen it been portrayed as. But I think showing that it's so much more complex than that is really important, because it also helps people identify when they might be struggling, they don't even realize, because now people maybe if they have a conception of OCD, they might not even see it in themselves. They might not be able to get the help, or it minimizes their own struggle by reducing it so much. I think another one is autism. That's always been shown as someone who like has one specialty that they're like a genius in, which is not common at all. For like, it's not as common, I guess, as they portray it in the media to be. And I feel like that is harmful, but like you said, I think we are definitely progressing in that area, and I hope that directors continue to portray mental health in like showing all the different perspectives, like you said, of Max and Marcus. I think that definitely was really impactful. Have you guys ever shared something online that's backfired, and what did you guys learn?
I personally don't post a lot online because of like the horror stories I've like heard about it. They also portray that pretty well in the media, like a lot of like problems with like posting stuff online, like how it goes so wrong. And I've just been like cautioned against that with like sometimes school like assemblies, it's really only mentioned once. And honestly, it is like the media and like movies and TV shows like seeing that actually kind of cautioned me against it. So I feel like also in that sense, like it's definitely progressed like a lot further than it used to be.
Yeah, I think definitely social media can be dangerous and helpful depending on like who you're interacting with or maybe like how you use it. Definitely there's like people out there that will like obviously use your content and like in a bad way. Definitely. Like I personally haven't had anything that's backfired for me online, which I'm very thankful for. Yeah, because I've definitely seen it happen to other people where like either like a message is taken the wrong way or something like that.
For sure, like cancel culture and stuff like that. Yeah,
exactly. So there's definitely a lot of stuff where you have to be careful of. Like I definitely like review my videos a lot before I post them, just in case I'm like thinking of like, okay, how like could people like interpret this differently than I am?
Yeah,
and like
for sure.
really make sure that like I stick my point.
Yes. 100%. What's one thing you wish adults understood about teens and social media?
I would say like also going back to where it can be dangerous and helpful. It's like I think a lot of adults either like see it as a helpful thing or other adults see it as a dangerous thing. I think most adults see it as something dangerous. And like something that I've learned is that two things can be true at the same time. So social media can also be dangerous and it can be helpful.
For sure.
I think it's a lot about expression and connection. And obviously there's downsides to everything. There's always going to be different things that you're going to run into regardless of what you do. Definitely like learning about it is helpful, especially if you have a teen on social media. Just like getting more experience with it and like knowing the outcomes that can happen from social media, good and bad, I think are good to be educated on.
Another thing that like with like parents, I feel like they need to know to have a balance with restricting like social media and phone usage, because obviously it's not a good thing if you're overusing it. Like I've had problems where like I'm like down like a rabbit hole scrolling, like I consciously like I want to be doing something else. Like in my mind I'm like, okay, stop, like I have time now, I want to actually do something else, and then I just can't like stop. And then if my parents like see that I'm doing that, they get off your phone, like you're wasting your time. And that just stresses me out more. And then I'm just on my phone for longer after that. And it just repeats in this like unhealthy cycle. And I just like, I feel like parents have to have like a way of like controlling like their anger about it, I guess. Like instead of yelling at you and making you like feel super like awful about being on it, maybe be like, okay, like maybe like 5 more minutes, like don't you have like homework to do today?
Like,
and then it's just like a soft reminder that's like a lot more beneficial, I would say.
Agree.
For sure. Kind of like piggybacking off of what you guys said, I think a lot of adults think we go on social media as if we were watching TV, like it's kind of like just like an entertainment thing, but I think in reality like it's become such an important part of our lives that you kind of have to like go on social media in some ways. Like that's how you find connection. That's how you can, you know, express yourselves or like find others like you. And also it's like sometimes it's a way to cope with like anxiety or procrastination. I mean, that's probably not great, but like sometimes it's like not controllable. And I think a lot of adults think like we're just purposely wasting our time, but it has like grown to become such a vital part of our lives that you can't just like push it away completely. And I think that's something important that people should understand more, how to like use social media in a healthy way, like you said, rather than just like taking it completely out of completely taking it out of someone's life. So And then have you guys noticed stereotypes about mental health in the media that you feel don't reflect real life?
Definitely, where like I think honestly every mental illness is portrayed by the media in a certain way, more like the general scope rather than the like total scale of everything. Specifically like with depression, most people like see it as like major depression where people can't get out of bed, don't have like any appetite or eat too much, are just having like a really hard time, you know, like just staying and isolating in their room. Whereas there's also like chronic depression, which is something I struggle with, where it's just like a constant weight and kind of that like feeling, but it's like you continue on and keep going because like there are still things to do, and it's just easier to try and ignore it rather than like falling into it. I think especially with like panic attacks, definitely stereotypical, where it's like people see them as like someone like crying or shaking or just like completely having a breakdown. Panic attacks can also be someone's just sitting there and like completely zoned out or fidgeting and like kind of like more in their head rather than in the present. And those are hard to notice, but they are very common. And I think a lot of people like misread that as like just like daydreaming, when someone can actually be really struggling. Same with eating disorders. There are so many eating disorders. Anorexia is the one that people typically like think of when it comes to an eating disorder. There's binge eating disorder, rumination disorder, pica, arthrid, orthorexia, bulimia, binge eating. There's like so many different types that people struggle with all the time, and they don't get as much help because people don't see eating disorders in that way when there's such a wide spread of that. So those are the ones that I think of.
Also building off of like panic attacks, like from my own experience, sometimes I have like shorter panic attacks that can like end like they have in the media. Like they give you this breathing box technique and then people do that and then it's just over. But like I had this like full anxiety attack and I looked up all these strategies to like stop, and I tried to like do these breathing techniques like the box breathing, and like it makes you have to hold your breath, and when I'm holding my breath I'm like I'm not going to be able to breathe again, and it just made me like more stressed out. And I don't think that like people really portray the fact that sometimes like it doesn't work. Sometimes it's like a worse thing, and there's like other like ways that panic attacks can be seen of as well. Like extreme dizziness, like losing your like recent memories and like stuff, like being like sort of like a hazy type of environment as well.
100%. I think it is like you guys are saying, very generalized, or they find solutions when in reality it's so much more of a journey than just one solution. And like you said, it's like sometimes become like a quota, like people they purposely have like quick moments to say that they like we're like being modern, we're having like mental health in our show, when it's so obvious that it's just to like check a box, you know, instead of oh my god, I can't say it. Exactly. Genuinely trying to like help other people and portray it correctly. And I think like it would be amazing to have people who actually experience these like mental health conditions be like writers of these shows or help write the shows and characters. I feel like that would make it be portrayed so much more accurately. But I definitely do agree with you guys. Like I think it is progressing a lot more than it has been in the past, so that's really great to see.
I'm really happy about that, honestly.
Any final takeaways or remarks? Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you for listening to The Endurant Show. If this conversation moved you, please follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. To view the conversations, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And to be a part of the community, follow us at Endurant Movement. And lastly, if you feel called to support the movement and help us ensure no teen ever feels alone again, visit endurantmovement.org to learn more, and if you can, make a donation. Together we can create lasting change, one conversation, one connection at a time.